Yes, sir. So, what are your expectations from this call? I hope you got a context of what we do. So, what exactly are you looking from this call?
Yeah, basically, Himakan sir, he is Granth,
Yes, sir.
and he has passed his intermediate,
Hmm.
and he has got 1 month, 1 year's time in total
Hmm.
for final.
Hmm.
But as you have seen that the mark sheet is not at all good. While as per we people, he has studied, he has
Hmm.
worked, but what was the problem, we do not know. I have already asked him to call for the copies so that we can work out where is the deficient part in that.
Hmm.
So as of now, we all are in a state of, I mean, shock. He he is not even passed in all the three subjects.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hmm. Hmm.
So what has happened? Where the things were lacking? This is the basic concern. And what should we do further? We need your guidance. We need the guidance to. I mean, I am a chartered accountant. I want him to take over further.
Understand. Yes.
So this is the basic thing.
Yeah.
So we were just trying to go for some. Actually, I thought that there is some problem of presentation, number one, and he might not have studied technically, which is required to be studied.
Hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He might not have studied technically, which is required to be studied in these kind of
Hmm.
papers.
Hmm. Hmm.
These are the two major problems
Hmm.
which I think that which has led to this situation.
Hmm.
That number one, again, presentation part. I think that he is not having a good handwriting.
Hmm.
And number two part, he has not studied technically.
Hmm.
His focus was not on what is being asked by ICAI,
Hmm.
and that is why this has happened.
Hmm.
So we wanted some mentor basically to guide us. We belong to Gwalior. Gwalior is not a big city. It is a mediocre kind of city. We wanted a mentor like who can see what he is writing, whether this kind of presentation is good enough for chartered accountancy final, and whether he is focusing on the proper technical path which is required to be focused on.
Granth, what is your take on this? Like, I understood your dad's perspective. So, how are you looking at this?
Sir, I think I need guidance regarding how to study
Hmm.
and what are the topics which I should focus more on and what are the topics which I should uh, focus less on and how to approach the syllabus.
Yeah. Hmm. Can you tell me what are the numbers you got in the recent result? What numbers did you get?
Uh, Sir, in audit it was 39,
Hmm.
in AFM it was 28, and FR it was 70.
Let's see what is going on.
What was your expected score?
Sir, I expected to pass in all the subjects.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about the aggregate portion.
Hmm. 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 Okay. What was it? What happened in intermediate? Like CA Inter, did you take attempts? Or were you able to clear in the first attempt? How did it go? CA Inter.
The second group, uh, I took 3 attempts in the second group,
Huh.
and first was cleared after the first attempt.
Okay. Final. Which attempt is this?
This is the first attempt. This was the first
You wrote only group one.
attempt.
Group two, you haven't started.
Yeah.
Understood.
I started with the classes, but it is on a midway.
Okay. What made you believe that you're going to clear this time? Like, what was the assumption which made you clear that? Which made you think that you will clear?
This time.
Yeah.
No, no, the time which is already gone.
This attempt, sir. I'm asking about yesterday. So,
Yes, sir.
Sir, I thought that my audit paper was quite good. I was confused about FR,
hmm.
but I didn't expect that it went that bad.
Hmm. mm,
And AFM, I didn't had much to say.
So normally, before getting into the specific case study of Granth, which I have to put in more time to understand what actually went wrong, most of the students equate studying to learning. Let's say you're sitting and having a book in front of you, you're flipping pages, it is studying. Studying is an input activity. Learning is an output activity. So you can measure the amount of time you study, but there is no measure in terms of what is the outcome. On the basis you say that I studied for 8 hours. That's what parents say. Like today, I think we spoke to 10 parents from probably 7, 8 different states. So the common thing is my son or daughter studies for 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. Yeah, he's studying, but is he learning? Because there's no correlation between both. Because it's not very linear. You put in 10 hours of study, it's very different. The learning algorithm is very different. That is one. And second, if you look at the question paper, most of the students don't even understand the paper. The question paper is built quite differently. It is very clear that both chartered accountancy and regular graduation, PCOM, has the same syllabus. The syllabus is the same. What is different is how the question papers are framed and how they evaluate it. So which actually means that it looks like cricket, but it isn't the regular cricket. It is international cricket. So we always have a tendency that I play good cricket, but where, with whom is the question. So in this scenario, for most of them, until class 12, you look at 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the classes: first class, second class, third class. Like it's only +1, arithmetic progression. After intermediate, when you take a foundation, it's not +1, it's +20, +30, and after inter, final. So these are not linear escalation. Just because you did well in foundation or inter, automatically it's not going to happen finally. So it's not +1, it's not arithmetic progression, it's geometric progression. You have to take a huge jump from the level. When you're trying to level up, if there is a conscious system which is already existing to help you improve the process, then will come out. Some people will figure out on their own. But many cases, there is no mechanism which will help you build your capacity. Without building capacity, no matter how many times you start doing the same thing over and over again, it is not going to help you in any manner whatsoever. So it is important for you to, build that capacity. Now it's a clear cut. I say when it says, okay, boss, you're not yet there. Just go build and come back, come again. This is exactly what it's communicating. Now, there is no reason for us to convert this fact into an emotion. It's a number. It's a number game. C is a number game. 150 is what we want to get. Let's say you got 60, you got 70. Now, also, it's not about the question paper, it's not about XYZ, because students don't fail in the examination. The reason why I started with this question is, you do not fail in the examination, you fail in the preparation. There are a lot of gaps in the preparation which would have led to this result. The 3-hour thing automatically would not do it. If not in one subject, okay, one subject, it's because of stress. In one or the other paper, it gets reflected. It cannot automatically happen in the examination. It's not about the 3 hours. I'm worried about the 3 months before the exam in terms of how you are done and what you have done. So there could be a lot of gaps, right from the learning gap. When it's a learning gap, okay, you say that you took coaching. But coaching is like watching a video. When I say video, it's like almost like a movie. You're supposed to read from a book. Someone is lazy or someone is not intellectually capable to even read a book. They want someone to explain that. Now, it is a huge red flag when someone does not have the ability to read a book, because while you're reading a book, whenever you get stuck, you cannot move. Video, whether you understand or not, it goes on. Book is conscious, you flip the pages. Coaching, they take it. So you're not driving, you're sitting in the passenger. The moment you say coaching, you're sitting in the passenger. Now, you feel that you're moving forward. On the examination day, you become the driver. From the pillion rider to become the driver. So suddenly you don't know how to drive, because you never know that you don't even know. So there are a lot of assumptions based on which the entire learning process is built. Now, why is it not solved? Because somehow, unfortunately, the whole accounting, I would say, ecosystem linked to the CA preparation is, it's built in a very cheap way. I don't understand why we play the cheap game. When I say that we only have a general class railway ticket, if I have to give an example, if you look at accounting is a profession, right? Accounting is a profession. Now, when somebody says, I'll teach you accounting in 10,000, it's a red flag. Now, how would you, because my 4-year-old school kid ends up paying a few lakhs for our school. Now, somebody says the CA whole damn thing will be treated in X amount of money. It is not adding up. It is not possible practically. Now, what are they doing? How many faculties have you interacted with? How many like because if you look at the fundamentals of learning, you always learn from a person, not from a video. Or like if you look at it, there has to be a process because these are all career. Accounting is a career. If you talk about India as 116, it itself is a career. How are you expecting to learn a career in 3 hours? Because when you clear CA, IC is expecting you to build a career on the top of it. The difficulty level is based on the expectation from the career which you are going to continue, not because of the video. Nobody gives a damn about the video which you have watched. So we have to get rid of the correlation between watching videos and clearing exam. 300 hours, 10,000 rupees. It's a very useless activity. We have to understand that. It might help incidentally because it is necessary, probably, but not sufficient. So it's like, which bat should I buy to become like Virat Kohli? So it's a very random and dumb question. Now, which book should I buy to complete accounting? Which faculty should I join to become a C? It's a very dumb question by default. It's not. It doesn't matter. So first, we change the whole damn process. Now you have to have a very clear-cut and constructive understanding of each and every subject, starting from financial. If you look at Group 1, now once again, if you do a different breakup, financial reporting has 4 modules. It has the lengthiest syllabus. Now the next paper, AFM, has only 15 chapters, single module. But then just because it is long or just because it is short, it automatically does not translate into easy or difficult. Financial reporting is format based. The depth is not so deep. It's wide. AFM, most of the chapters are actually simple. There are 6 chapters which will make or break the deal for you. If you look at the chapter number 13, mergers and acquisition, 14 corporate valuation, 15 startup finance. These 3 chapters will give 15 to 20 marks. But they are very simple and straightforward. So between financial reporting and financial management, the dynamics are different. Somebody who loves to work hard and who want to put in the effort for hours together, FR is comfortable. Somebody who wants to think aggressively, who want to play actively, they find AFM comfortable. Now, audit is a mix of both. It's lengthy and complex. So that is the reason why 85% of the people who fail in Group 1 fail in audit. So you have to treat them like proper practical case scenarios, proper subjects, instead of correlating completing a book or completing few hours and then expecting to clear. That is not going to happen. So no matter how many times you do it, that is not going to happen automatically. So because you definitely, when I ask you the attempts about intermediate, when it took 1.5 hour instead of 1.5 year instead of half a year, you should have picked up some insights. You should know what did not work, what worked. You should be very, very clear about the granularities in terms of what things are working. So now, at least I appreciate that there is a serious intent from the entire family. Like when 3 generations are working on a problem, it will be most likely resolved. And I'm trying to be brutally honest here because I don't want to give the wrong expectation saying that do X, do Y, do Z. So we have to collapse everything, rebuild the whole process. Now, rebuilding the whole process in the sense, we focus on the learning algorithm. What is the right way to learn? Now, why are we learning this? Why are we doing this? Because on the exam day, you're not carrying your coaching videos. You're not carrying your book. Your mind has to think in a particular way. It has to interpret the question in a particular way. So it is about building our mental capacity here, not accumulating short notes, not accumulating some unnecessary stuff. That is not what we're looking at. How do you work on the processing part? So this is more of a mental activity. This is like the core strength. It's not about the bat which you carry. It's about the muscle. You have to build the mental muscle. So that nobody's talking about it. Forget about somebody offering it. Nobody even don't know. Even a lot of people who sell coaching, it's a good business for them. They don't care about people clearing it. One student is equal to one admission. That's how they treat it. They don't even care who you are. They don't even know you exist or not. So we cannot rely on solutions where the objective of intention of the ecosystem is to help you clear. They're like, okay, let's make 10,000 classes for 10,000 rupees, 10,000, 10 crore business for each attempt. Now, good faculties do 100 crore for each attempt. But when they do that business, they hardly care. They don't have to care, right? Anyways, the videos get sold. What is there for them to worry about it? So you expecting that somebody will bother and care about you, it's like you expecting an air hostess to come and do something in a train. That is not possible. So that is the reason why we said, okay, you are someone who are not able to waste 10 hours on a 1,000 rupee journey. Invest 10,000 into 1 hour journey. We'll build a private jet. This is exactly why we are building it very different. So that is the reason why we operate with a maximum of 10 students where we can pay attention to you. We can understand. We can create some mind space in all our minds so that we know, okay, this is the problem, this is the problem. Right now, I don't know because it's not a singular, simple conversation where I can understand. It could be anything. Probably it might take a week, it might take a month or whatever it is. But the whole thing is you have somebody who is continuously working on the problem. Because And just because we discover the problem, let's say we figure out that your learning speed is slow. The way you're learning is slow. That's not a great insight. We try to increase the speed. How do you increase it? It is not going to happen automatically. Even after that, the memory has to work, articulation has to work, processing has to work, and most importantly, the present tense has to happen. So there are a lot of nitty-gritties which are interconnected. It's a very intricate and complex process. Learning is a very intricate and complex process where a lot of things have to come together at the same time. So that is the reason why we ask people to come down. Okay, this is not going to happen like this. Just come down, just drop in, spend your 3-4 months. We'll send you back as a chartered accountant. So this is exactly why it happens. So I'm trying to tell you that the problem is complex and serious than what you're thinking. It's not like somebody says something and something happens. So it's not a statement thing. Because the reason why motivational videos work is it doesn't matter what you hear, it is not going to work. There is no question of it's like somebody had a hand fracture. What video would you show to the hand for the fracture to get fixed? You have to work on it, right? It is a physical thing. Similarly, when your mind is not working, when you have a fractured learning process, you have to fix it. It takes some actionable work, not some thought or insight which alone will do the work. If that is the case, I would rather charge a couple of lakhs for each conversation, and why do I have to do this for months together? And because the whole understanding of the process, you have to build skills, skill building. You have to take continuous decisions. You have to continuously solve problems. Decision making, problem solving, skill building has to happen parallel. So when all of these things together come into the picture, that is when people like Prashant, who has failed 12 times, eventually, how can we help somebody failing for 6 years in just 2-3 months? And we also had, I'm not sure if you watched all the videos. Now, in terms of what we do, let's say Anurag, his father is also a chartered accountant, he's 70-year-old from Daipur. Now, it's been 8 years since they saw a favorable result. Yesterday, his dad was completely crying. Imagine a 70-year-old chartered accountant crying for his son. Now, he was the only son. The whole question is, what we do? He always studied. In fact, he studied less here. But understanding what is the learning algorithm. If you have to answer a particular question in the question paper on a particular date, what is the quantum of general understanding you need to have? How much you have to retain? How much you have to focus on application? So all of this has to be, built like a proper algorithm. Now, this is the time-taking process, and this is exactly what differentiates. So most of the things which you're thinking are the problems are not the actual problems, which you think are the solution are not the actual solutions. We'll have to be open and figure out how this has to go. So the scenario is a lot more complex than what you're thinking. So this is exactly where I would like to begin with.
So I do have one question. I mean, you are having X number of students with you who are residing with you, and you are taking the residential course for them. And each one is having a separate deficiency,
Yes,
a different deficiency. So how would you look after each one of them?
Yes, sir. So my wife is a doctor. My father-in-law is an anesthetist. Now, it's one of the complicated professions because the amount of anesthesia you inject can kill a patient. You have to each patient is different, and most of the time he works in the emergency department. They're half dead by the time they come. You cannot knock them and say, oh. And you have seconds of thinking. I always keep asking, how do you think? How do you think? How do you think? It's like it's the experience and it's the expertise. I'm not scared. He says one thing. Number one, there is no family member who understands anesthesia. Nobody can do it. He himself cannot do it. Even within the hospital, I am the qualified authority. I have 35 years of experience. If I cannot do it right, there are very few people who can get it right. I'm not saying I'm right. It just can't get better. This is one. Number two, even if some random doctor exists somewhere on the planet, it is urgent. It is a decision which is urgent, which has to be acted right now. So, in terms of how a solution works and comes into the picture, I was building conscious experience and expertise in the last 12 years only in this dimension of cognitive psychology. It's a study of how, it's a psychology of learning. Learn how to learn is the underlying philosophy of cognitive psychology. Now, if it is complex for me, it will be super complex for a lot of people. Two, when somebody is coming here, they would have tried all the possible things on the planet. All the popular things are tried out. All the cheap things are tried out. only the best and the most important thing is not right because they don't have access to this unless they take a very significant decision, both in terms of trust and financially and all of that. They won't enter the party. So once they come down here, the possibility of somebody acting which can be better than this is pretty low. I can almost say that because we have got cooperate from the government of India and the result speaks for ourselves, and it's very hard to do this, sir. Why would somebody spend, like, if I ask you, if I have CA practice, if I ask you to work with only 10 clients, why would you do it? Now, for me, my game is very different. In India, we have the most premium business school is Indian School of Business. It is hardly 15 minutes from the place I look at. It has started 20 years ago. Now, for the current year, they're charging 50 lakhs per year. Why do they charge 50 lakhs per year? If you graduate out of ISB, your starting package is 34 lakhs. It can go up to 50 lakhs. So you invest 50 lakhs, recover that within the first 12 to 18 months. This is the pitch. Now there are a certain class of people who want to upgrade from 15 lakhs to 50 lakhs within 1 year. So this is the game. And then we have Harvard Business School. They charge a couple of crores. Now why do same? Somebody making 50 lakhs per year, they want to get to a couple of crores. So they go there, invest and get that. This is the game. Now I clearly see a space between these two. There could be something more than this and something less than this, where if someone gives us 1 year, we'll holistically build their entire life. When I say entire life, one is career, the second one is relationships, health and wealth. Now career is directly wealth is a derivative of career. If you fix the career or the skills related to it, wealth is automatically sorted. Health, mental health, physical health, emotional health. Physical health is just 1 hour of exercise. You sweat, physical health is sorted. By default, we're healthy. Screw up our health. By default, physical health is sorted. Now, mental health and emotional health, mental health depends on your career once again. Because unless you're cognitively active, you cannot focus on the essential thing. You have to be mentally active. So that's the reason why a lot of people who make ridiculous amount of money keep working. They don't retire. They just want to work all the time because they want to be mentally healthy. Next is emotional health. Emotional health depends on your relations. Relationship between yourself, relationship between your immediate family members, friends, and everything. So I would say health and wealth are derivatives of career and relation. We always talk about health and wealth, but you cannot do anything about health and wealth directly. You have to build these two things. So what we offer is 1 year, we fix all the things for you at a very personal level. So to say this, we have spent more than 10 years and we have unbelievable case studies in this regard. Because people who are taking psychiatric medicines, when they come, they're out of medicine in just 3 to 4 weeks. So that is the level of complexity and intricacy at which we operate. So yaha pe, what I'm saying, I will only take 10 students per attempt. 10 students per attempt. I have a team of 10 CS to handle this 10 students. And most importantly, we take at least 100 days. The whole question is, right now, let's say your starting point is 80, 90. And then 100 days here at Him Life School in a residential zone is almost equal to 200, 300 days. That's what the results say, right? When somebody is not able to clear for 3 years, which is 1,000 days, and they clear in 80 days, 90 days. So our 90 days, 100 days is more powerful than the 1,000 days out there. So when you're looking at it, we're not just looking at 3 months. We're looking at it as a decent amount of time, good for clearing. Because the moment you convert into days, your day is different from our day. What happens here is very different from what happens elsewhere in the world. So our day is very different. So definition of day is not natural. So looking into all of these factors, we will be able to create individual solutions. And number 2, let's look at it practically. Let's say we want to continue the conversation to infinite time. I think at some point of time it has started. Today probably it will take 3 hours. Tomorrow it will take 2 hours. Day after tomorrow it will stop, no sir. Even if there are 10 students, it doesn't require that level of attention because tomorrow Granth would be asking which auditing standard should I study? Why should I listen to you? You're wasting my time. I would rather finish this auditing standard so that I can check it out. Because I'm not the solution. I'm the facilitator. I'm trying to help you find the solution. So that way, all I have to do is observe your learning process, understand the problem, fix it, understand the problem, and I have a whole team doing this. And this is exactly what we do all the time. Whether this is enough or not, you can't find a better solution than this. So there ends the matter. So we cannot do anything better than this. Nobody is doing better than this. So looking at these 2 equations, this is probably the best solution which you might get at this point. Unless you already know that there is something else which is working better, then you should definitely go for it. We don't deny that. So as far as we understand, as far as we get feedback from almost 20 states, so this is exactly the best possible, which is currently available.
One thing more. Say I have told to you that he is probably having not that good handwriting, which can fascinate the examiner or the person who is evaluating the copy. In that way, I mean, you will be taking the mock tests, or it is not there. You are not taking any mock test or some other papers like this, but you are only going to examine him regarding his learning process.
I need a minute, sir. Just a second. Sir, the only thing we do is we produce the certificates for your kids. This is the only thing we do. That's it. Don't have any other activity. Single point agenda. You come without those 2 letters, we'll send you back the 2 letters. That's it. So there are a lot of nonsensical things people do. We'll sell coaching classes, 300 hours. We'll sell revision test series. We don't do anything. This is what we do. Like as a doctor, you're half dead. We'll send you back as a completely alive person. For that to happen, there are a lot of things. If you question me, do you sell medicines? Do you give injections? But we do everything. That's the idea is not to give XYZ. The idea is to gamify. How do you bring all these ingredients together in a perfect recipe? That's the game. Otherwise, if you look at the sum of the ingredients is always nothing. How do you bring everything together into a construction? Now, if you look at any gated community project, Godrej, I think recently they sold, 3,000 crore apartments in a day. I think they built a new record. Now, when you look at something like that, when you buy a 4 crore house, it's brick, cement, or whatever it is. But the beauty is it's built together in a particular way, which creates a ecosystem. Now, what we offer is an ecosystem very clear. That is exactly what we do. Because it is so new, it is so, different from what anybody has ever experienced. You keep comparing it to the same reference because you think that is what it is. But none of them are relevant, sir. That's what I'm saying. Let's say the same example. Now, if you're asking, I want to become like Sachin Tendulkar, which bat should I use? Even if you say MRF doesn't even manufacture bats. So the whole point is, Boost was never the secret of him. Like if you look at it, what we think about and what actually happens is very different. So we focus on the fundamentals. What is fundamental? On a particular day, ICI is having it's an oral, I would say it's a written interview in a way. It's a written interview. It is commenting. When it's a written interview, it is not about, for example, right now, sir, you're taking the most important decision of your life. When I'm operating with only 10 students, you are like my 10% partner for this attempt. If you're not doing well, that will impact the whole ecosystem. So both of us have to be extremely careful. Now, I don't have a standard checklist to evaluate grants, or you don't have a standard checklist. Now we are working with fluidic intelligence. We are trying to understand each other. We're trying to evaluate each other. We're trying to reduce the internal objections. We're trying to get to a point where it is that's it. Now, the examiner game is also like that. The examiner puts in half an hour. In that half an hour, he just looks at it. Okay, is this guy capable of handling this subject? That is exactly what we try to communicate. If I try to do this in any other way, I try to note down all the questions parent might ask, and I by heart it, and I come here. I'll be super dumb if I try to do that because I'm expecting this to happen. People say that unexpected questions. Why are you expecting questions? How can you expect questions in a professional exam? You should not expect questions. You build your capability, you go there. That is exactly how we operate. So everything that is required to get there. So it's an 18-hour game. Now this 18 hours is evaluated. Let's say 19 hours for 4 hours for the 6th paper. Is evaluated in hardly 4 or 5 hours. So 5 hours of evaluation. Now to write this 18-19 hours, you'll get 20 hours per each paper, 1.5 day. So 120 hours, that is the most crucial hours. For you to summarize the entire syllabus of CA in 120 hours, you should have already compressed it earlier. If you never done it, it's not going to happen automatically. If you never done this, it's not. This closure is not happening today. I would have done it X number of times where it is one more thing. So when you're doing that 1.5 day revision, it's one more thing. But for you to revise everything in 1.5 day, you should have the ability to revise it already in 1.5 day. And for that, you should have done it in 4 or 5 days earlier. One short cycle, much before the 10 days. So this is exactly how it is stacked up. Without building a correlation, randomly watching some it is not going to happen. Right? I'm surprised why nobody is talking about it. Probably that gave us the opportunity to come out and prove what we do. But nothing is going right. Otherwise, for a simple exam like CA, because I'm saying it simple, I work with medicine students. As I said, we have a few doctors in the family and a lot of IITs in the family. And civils is a different game altogether. Out of 10 lakh people who apply, eventually 1,000 people get through. So CA is not like that, sir. It's very simple, standard exams. Syllabus is even. Question papers are available. Your answer sheets are available. Civils, you don't have anything. You can't even know why you will fail. There is nothing which will give you your answer sheet. There are no suggestions, nothing. So in a lot of ways, if you put in the systematic effort, it's very well crackable. This is an exam which can be cracked in 1 attempt. That's the reason why we confidently go ahead and say that this. So the process which you are thinking is not what is required. So that's my core aspect. We build it from the scratch with completely exam objective orientation. Like begin with the end in mind. What is the end? 50 marks in this paper. To get 50, you have to do X, Y, Z. So we build an algorithm. And the entire effort is focused on maintaining the implementation. Plan, sir, plan का जरूरत ही नहीं है sir. Plan के बारे में इतना बोलते हैं ना. Why do you need a plan? For example, 6 papers है. Start with chapter 1 in financial reporting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just finish the chapters. Come to AFM. All the 15 chapters. Go to audit. All the 19 chapters. That's it. एक flow में हो गया तो सब तो पढ़ना है ना. So the plan is not the question. How do you implement the day one on the first plan is what matters the most. So that is something what has to be worked upon. So we focus on the essentials without worrying about unnecessary stuff. They literally don't have to know anything, sir. They watch so many videos, which is, see, if you store something in your mind, whether it is good or bad, your mind cannot distinguish it. Just like a fridge, you store a rotten item or you store prasad, it cannot understand. In your mind also, you store something valuable, you store something useless, it don't understand, it doesn't understand. So we have to consciously create importance to certain things by tagging it. So this is how we change somebody from 10 to 12 items to single item. So it's
contents will be gathered, contents of study will be gathered by the student only. I beg your pardon again to ask this improper question. I mean, you are not providing the contents.
Content is, see, ICA has given the entire content. We make all the students learn ICA modules. We make them solve the question papers because ICA is the body which is giving you the question paper. ICA is the body which is giving you the answer sheet. It's like if the final match is on a particular pitch, Wankhede Stadium, why are we practicing in some other setting? It doesn't make sense for me to do anything else. So we normally recommend ICA module, but help them how to process the ICA module.
Wonderful.
In certain cases, if you think you found out a better faculty, no worries, totally fine. It doesn't matter, sir. Content does not matter because you're talking about a book, right? The source content you're talking about, it doesn't matter. Whether it's like I'm saying the bad does not matter. Time and again we're talking about the same thing. The bad does not matter. Batting is a technique which you have to build. Not bad, hardly matters. So one, if you don't have a preference, ICA. If you have a preference, we'll stick to that. You get any bat, we'll teach you batting. That is what I'm talking about.
Right. So now, how to proceed ahead now?
I'll quickly take you through, I would say, you're able to see the screen, sir?
Yeah.
Now, I think this is the base starting point, sir.
Yeah.
So to slightly reduce the margin of error, we have 75 in group 1 already. This is already there. Now, one way of approaching is, so for us to take this 15 to 40 plus, 25 to, let's say, 45 plus or 50 plus. This is 35 to 45 plus. Again, audit, I'm not adding much. So if we do this, we'll get to 130 plus. So this can be done in 30 days or even lesser. So for us to move the base of 75 to 140, I'm giving a very conservative number. Most likely we'll cross 150 also, but probably almost doubling it. We'll take 30 days, 10 days per subject. This will be done. Next is, if we talk about these two, you said you don't have any base, right? These two papers. Now, IBS, it's a culmination of everything. You don't need to, because it's a combination of everything. So that's the reason why we're not looking at specifically, although it requires some time. Now, DT and IDT, if you are starting at 0, we're looking at 40. So this together will take another 30 days. Because purely exam oriented, starting at 0, how do we get to 40? For example, in direct taxation, only international taxation, the last 4 chapters hold almost 30 marks, the 4th module. So there are a lot of things which will give you good return on investment of time. So we'll slightly focus on that with an objective score 40 plus. So with this, what will happen is your base level in group 1 and group 2 will be reaching a particular point by end of August. So that is the point where we can have that question. When you ask me single versus both group, that is a good point. Because even if you say both groups will have 1 month to revise, even if you say one group, we still have 1 month to focus more on group 1. So this is what I think for you. Because for me, fundamentally, I just have to add this letter CA. At some point of time, if I have to add CA, you have to start preparing for it. When ICA conducts the exam, it's a different story. Let's say you want to get into IPL, you're not waiting for a deadline, right? You start preparing. You want to become a singer, you start singing. So you want to become a CA, you start learning. So when the exam happens, it's a ancillary thing, which happens or does not happen. So we start building the ability. And then at a particular point, at a particular context, we just stop and just we look around and then we'll see the decision. So right now you're free. We'll first move the baseline to closer to 135, where you feel that, okay, I passed on all 3 papers. That will build your confidence and that will help you understand the gap. Like what exactly is not working, you'll clearly understand the gap. So once that is sorted, you'll be in a very good position because you'll be in peak form. Right now you're not in form. At that point of time, we'll get to the form. When you are in peak form, that is when we focus on the group 2 and we'll accelerate that. So there is a reasonable chance of cracking both the groups, or we'll take responsibility because once we give you the commitment, if not November, it will be one here and 1 there. This is exactly how things are going to happen. Most likely we have a great chance.
November it will be?
Pardon, sir?
If not November, then?
See, if not November, the other one will be happening in May. The only risk is one group will happen in November for sure. That is something both of us are sure. I'm telling the worst case scenario before you ask me. Because what exactly is it? Because we want to operate with prudence. The way I see it, it's a great possibility. Because the numbers, when we just have to prepare 2 papers in 1 month. So it can be done. But if you look at the worst case scenario, what is the worst case scenario? You're either CA in November or CA in May. That's it. That is exactly what it is. Even for that to happen, we're already building a base in the other group also, where you are familiar with all the papers. And once you see 40 series paper, you'll be operating with a very different mindset.
So when is the schedule is going to start?
So is this plan making sense? Like, is it?
Yeah, I am comfortable with this.
Okay, fair enough. Granth, any questions here?
Nothing.
Not as of now.
Not as of.
Perfect. Now, in terms of how we convert some mark sheets, like this is the recent one. Now, this is a very, I would say, simple one in the sense that we have a lot of extreme mark sheets. I'm not showing extreme mark sheets because what is extreme may or may not happen. We have helped, we have helped a foundation student crack in 6 weeks. From 0 to nil to clearing foundation, we did in 6 weeks. We cracked in 8 weeks for CA Enter, 9 weeks for CFN. All of this is done. But that is exceptions, like the 37 ball, 40 ball century. Now, this is something which can normally happen for everyone. So the way it works is, different people have different starting points. Now, it is all about redistributing the mark sheet. So when we first looked at the mark sheet, I realized this 330 is already there. This 300 marks are already there. I just have to reorganize that into different things. Now, this is one assignment which was very complicated because we hardly had 2 months to do this. But then, why are we confident is because we just want to convert 330 in a different bracket. If you see the marks, we just jumble the marks here and there. That is exactly what we done. So the base, when you start, that's it. So in your case, you just have a proper base. I would say 75 out of 300. You've done 25%. We have to do another 75%. The first 25 is easy because you already done half of it. We'll have to leverage it and it can be done in a month. The remaining is advantage because I can rebuild everything from the scratch. When I'm starting something from 0, I have a great advantage of doing things the way I want. So that is the reason why second group has an advantage. So that way we'll be able to help you get the desired result. And in terms of the marks weightage, like what we infer is, if you look at Sweta, getting, I would say, 70 marks in a subject plus 14 one paper, it's like 110. Alternatively, you can get 55 55. For a lot of people, 55 plus 55 is easy. For many other people, 70 plus 40 is easy. Anything is the same. So you need not have a blanket assumption that I have to get 50 into 6. Okay, you say that audit is difficult. Okay, let's get 45. You say AFM is easy. Let's get 65. What is that? So overall, one is let's not get less than 40. Now, how do we get, I would say, at least 40? The equation is very simple. If you look at how the paper is given for any subject, the first thing is 30 marks objective and 70 marks this. Out of 30, we'll say get 16. Out of 70, let's get 25, is equal to 40 plus, that's it. So both these equations are simple. Out of 15 MCQs, you get 8 MCQ right, 16 doable. Out of 70, you get 25. So the first 40 is crossed. How are we doing the remaining 10 is a different story depending on a lot of things. First, we have to psychologically get to a point where at least I'm getting 40 seconds. बाद में तो aggregating बारे में सोच सकते हैं, because when you do this work, it mostly stretch. It goes to 47, goes to 48, something like that. So that is exactly how we are going to operate at an individual level, depending on your strength, depending on your comfort, depending on your ability to score, not just your interest to score. Your ability to score, actual ability to score is what we look at. Okay, is this clear?
All these students have studied with you, or they have joined you previously?
Yes, sir. These are my students.
Yeah. Okay. Right, it's clear, but
It's 100 days. 100 days.
Sir, you're asking something?
yeah, my father is asking, this whole schedule is of 100 days.
Yes, sir. 100 days. Yes, sir. 100 days. Similarly, for group 2 also, if you look at group 2 earlier, we have the elective. So average in direct tax is 44, in elective is 68. Look at it, 24, more than 50% variation between two papers. This is how you game the exam. Not 1 mark in DT is equal to 1 mark in elective. So why would you stretch and get 1 mark here when it's a tough investment? Let's get 45, 50 here and get the balance from there. So this is exactly how you kind of navigate between different papers and you just make it. That's it. So this is something which is very important because if you see this particular part, a lot of times, time expands itself. Like normally, I believe most of the papers can be done in 2.5 hours, all the CA papers. And a lot of people believe if 4 hours are given, they'll pass. No, both are right. But you have to practice in a particular way that you're crossing 40 marks in just 2 hours. If you are doing that, any paper is fine because the last 1 hour you can leverage to get more. Your ability to cross 40 plus in 2 hours will make you a chartered accountant. Because not all the questions are easy. Not all the questions are tough. So out of 5 questions, let's say you don't know many questions, but there'll be 2 questions which you should know. If you don't even know 2 questions, the student should not pass. Right? One should not pass. Now, if you know 2 questions, let's leverage that. Out of that 2-3 questions with a weightage of 40, let's get at least 24, 25, which we'll do in the first 1 hour. The first 1 hour, let's focus on immediately getting maximum marks. Let's arrive. It's like a batting power play. Keep hitting, get the maximum. Second, consolidate. Don't lose wickets. Consolidate. Try to cross 40. So if you do these 2 steps, you're done. And for us to do this, we'll conduct daily exams. Every day we'll be writing an exam for 2 hours. So close to almost 60-70 exams. At least मान लो कि 50 exam तो लिख पाएगा. That's it. So that is exactly how we game. मतलब everything we are just logically correlating from this. And in terms of syllabus, not everything can be revised multiple times. There are a few topics which requires extra attention. Few topics which are easy or unimportant. Either easy, 1 time is enough. Unimportant, 1 time is enough. So they are important and difficult. Either important or difficult or both. 3 times revision is important. This is why we believe CA is simple because our perspective is very different. There are only 6 papers. Syllabus is fixed. Few amendments, 10% amendment. Cutoff is pre-decided. There is no competition. Exam dates are finalized. Suggestions are given by ICI itself. Everything is so sorted. So that way you can always look at clearing exam in a single attempt. And what is difficult is because you don't have a university ecosystem. The biggest part is you don't have the mindset and routine. What is routine? Routine is I would say, blueprint of how a day should look like. Most of the students will never get one proper day. Routine is repetition, right? Only when you get the original copy, you'll get the photocopy. So when you never had one proper day in your life, what would you repeat? How would you repeat? So the first objective is to create one proper day and make you experience that this is the power of a day. When you start your day at 5 o'clock and at 10 o'clock, if you achieve so much, you will realize, okay, so much can be done a day. Let me start doing more of it. If you're not achieving, it's like when you invest money, if you're not getting return, you don't invest. When you invest time, if you're not getting return, you don't invest time. So that is how your mind works. So we make sure the time invested is converting into something tangible and intellectual so that you see the clear-cut correlation. So that is exactly how we are doing it. Finally. And generally, the answers part, like when we do this, the whole you have a lot of MI phones. Now everybody talks about the same features. So between iPhone 15 Pro Max and probably Redmi Note Pro, some 24 Pro, whatever it is, they have ultimate unlimited editions. The features are the same. They also have a 200 MP camera, but the class and the convenience and the experience is what they're looking into. So this is exactly what they look into. So fundamentally, when you want to, think of an answer, you always think about it. If Apple has to produce something, how would it go? That is what ICA looks at. Because every phone that comes out, Apple, there should not be a defect, right? They're very clear about non-defective pieces. So ICA is also clear about non-defective pieces. They don't send random people to the market. They would rather stop sending a qualified good person than sending a bad person. They don't take the risk of, they would rather take the risk of elimination and selection. That is exactly how it works. So that way, the quality check will be there. Sometimes good quality people also will get left out because of the random checks. So the whole idea is what you think in your mind, elevate the expectation of the delivery, and that is exactly what sets the whole thing. And in terms of Anurag, I told you, this guy cleared after 13, 14 attempts. Now, this is exactly what he has mentioned when he started. Like these are the set of problems which he has mentioned. So whatever problem you have, you always find a solution. The whole objective of doing what we do is diagnosis. Because if you want a solution, as I said, in medical shop, it's simple. You just get the medicine. You know the problem. Okay, this is the problem, do medicine. The medical shop can give. You don't know the problem, you go to the doctor, you go to the technician, you go to the dietitian, you will get all the diagnosis possible in terms of understanding. Diagnosis is difficult. So unless problem is diagnosed, we cannot get the solution. In terms of memory, a classic example, in terms of memory, memory is not bad. Your memory is also not bad. The whole idea is the concept of memory works very differently, especially this is a Harvard Business Review case study. It says every 1 day you forget more than 60%. Every 2 days you forget more than 70%. Every 1 week only 25% is retained. So if you don't do anything about it, you'll keep forgetting things because that's a natural mind mechanism. It cannot store things forever. So unless you do something like control, in the previous slide we told you this is the problem, what could go wrong. In the current slide we're telling you this is what has to be done. For the problem which we discussed, this is the solution. So only when you do this, we'll be able to, fix the problem of bad memory. If you randomly repeat it, no, that's not going to work because you'll have to put controls based on the gaps. So this is exactly how it works. In terms of, I would say, the techniques, we have a scheme of techniques for each and everything. You say exam presentation, there are a set of techniques. Revision, set of techniques. Syllabus completion, everything is standardized and built like an algorithm. So when sir asked, how do you navigate different things? We focus on the problems, not on the people. Now you have a focus problem, this is what you do. It's no longer about who he is and what he can do. We focus on who he should become and what he should do. Because the expectation is from the reverse end. No matter where we are, no matter what we do, on a particular day, you have to get 300. We'll try to pull them to a particular end. Instead of focusing on where there are too much, you have to get there. It's point B to point A. You have to reach here. If you have to reach here, you have to do with this level of speed. So that is the reason why most of the things are very, I would say, standardized. Like if you want to build X, we have a solution. If you have to build Y, we have a solution. So that is the reason why we were able to build algorithms in a very short time for all of these things. And in terms of utilizing resources, time and energy are easily available because once you stop using time properly, energy does not get wasted. If you don't do anything, energy it is conserved. But just because you have time, you don't have attention. Attention is the biggest asset. Earlier it was oil and then data. Now attention. The whole world wants your attention. Now, the richest companies are Facebook, YouTube because they grab attention. The whole idea is human attention has become priceless. Once you have attention, they can sell anything. So for someone to sell, once you have their attention, they can sell anything, right? So time and again, if you go to Insta or wherever you go, somebody is trying to steal or sell something to your. So we protect your attention so that so that your time matters. If you don't have attention, your time does not matter. Let's say we have this conversation. If you're not paying attention, this is useless. Only when the time is combined with attention, it makes sense. So that is exactly what we excel in. And eventually, at some point of time, we say that all you need is a pen to clear the exam, because that's it, nothing else. How do you become CA? Have a pen. That's it. A pen that writes. Nothing else is required. So that is a capability which you have to build. What books, what revision notes, nothing. You just go clear, come back, right? At some point of time, leave everything. So that is the ability which we want to build for you. And this is the game. Like you have to clear the exam in 1 attempt or 1 year. As I said, I consider that equation also. When somebody wants to write only one group, we have an extended 1 year plan. And then you have to start earning at least 1 lakh per month. And this is not it. At some point of time in India, people were fascinated about crorepati. Let's say, Kaun Banega Crorepati. Way back in 2000, it was making sense. No, nobody cares about a crorepati because you don't even get a double BHK with a crore. Nothing comes to a crore. So that 1 crore has become 10 crore because of the purchasing power parity. It's $1 million across the world. Unless you have $1 million, you cannot even get started with many things. When I say $1 million, it's not just about your active money. You start earning, you save, you reinvest something. At some point of time, you have to get to the net worth. So for you to get the net worth, the certificate alone is not enough. You have to build a series of skills. So this is exactly what we focus here. The way because a lot of people, revenue recognition is one particular standard where people make shitload of money only because of one standard. Because for certain companies, that is very important aspect. So that itself is a huge career. Consolidation itself is a huge career. So you picking up one particular chapter and you building a career on top of it can happen just like that. But for that to happen, you have to operate with a different state of mind and different mentality. So that is exactly what we focus on students here. In this process, you'll automatically clear. Clearing alone is not the game, because we want to give you a class upgrade. When you say class upgrade, the comforts which your dad made in his life are helping you. Now, when we are doing this, we'll do it for the kids, but we miss out on that. I'm not sure how much comfort which your dad created was enjoyed. My dad couldn't enjoy the comfort which he created. It was good for us. But for this generation, I want to do an intergenerational escalation, intergeneration class upgrade. Without waiting for the next generation, at least at 45, 50, you should be able to start enjoying the benefit. I can't say in next 5 years, 10 years, but in 15, 20 years, whatever might happen after 60, like after 30 years, it can happen in 15, 20 years. So we'll save you 10 years in your career. This is the whole game. It's like a class upgrade, no matter which class you're starting from. So this is what we're looking at. And the campus placement currently is around 10 lakhs. One attempt opportunity cost. You're sitting at home, you're losing 1 lakh per month. Let's say, imagine last year had we met much before this happened or much before Inter happened. If I said that I'll just take the opportunity cost, like every attempt, if I'm taking 6 lakhs instead of you wasting it, I'll take that amount and I'll help you clear. It makes sense for you to take it, because if you're not clearing, you're wasting it anytime, anyway. Now, when you start doing it, it saves a lot of time. See, had I told you that I would have certainly helped you clear in last year, you would have done anything to get there. The whole idea is you have to work with an opportunity cost mechanism. 3,000 or 4,000 which you pay to the examination center is not something which is important. You have to have a constant sense of understanding of the opportunity cost. It's not just about money, the entry point in your career, the time at which you enter the marriage, because when you're settled while you're entering marriage, you'll get a different class of family. If not, it's a different, because lot of things come into the picture. So the best attempt is the earliest attempt. For you to do that, you have to have value for your time. If you're not valuing your own time, others cannot. So this is why opportunity cost is important. And the calculation which I said, 10 crore network, we did a rough math of that. So most of the CS would be able to earn at least 16 crore in a period of 30 years, even with a regular package of 10 lakhs. If it improves 10% per year, still $1 million is a definite thing which is happening for any CA. And finally, the way we work, like if you look at ISB, what is the proposition? The value proposition is simple. Now they charge 50 lakhs per 1 year. Why are they charging this? Because you can recover it in 12 months or 18 months. Why 12 months? If you get a 50 lakh package, you'll get it 12 months. If you get a 35 lakh package, you'll get in 18 months. This is the range. This is the average placement. So a lot of people want to upgrade and do that. Now, this is a established model which has been there in the last 20 years. Now, our offering suits people like this. Now, you can always say, I'll invest 5 lakhs in an MBA and then I'll get that 5 lakhs in it. That is also there. You always have that option. Now, we are creating what if ISB helps you clear C. That is the dimension in which we are building something. So that's the reason why ISB has limited slots. We have formal limited slots because ISB does not guarantee anything. Now we guarantee a result because ISB entry is difficult, exit happens. Here, entry is based on an evaluation which we are going through right now, but exit is very hard because it's not my exit. It's not my personal exit, right? It's ICS exit. So that way, this is the model at which we work upon. So, are we on the same page until this point, sir? Any questions?
So this is around say 49 lakhs.
ISB charges 50 lakhs. Now we are talking about the reference model, sir. Exactly. So what I'm telling you is the value proposition. ISB charges 50 lakhs because you can recover that in 12 to 18 months. Now our value proposition is similar. We charge between 12 to 15 lakhs, which once again within 1 year or 18 months you should be able to recover. This is exactly our value proposition. This is the reference model of why we charge what we charge, and that is exactly what we charge.
So what is exactly your fee schedule?
Sir, I'll tell you two things. Now, what is this bracket? What is this bracket? Now, if you're looking at November 24, and then we're looking at May 25, sir. Let me. So one is November 24, possibility 1, November 24. Possibility 2, May 25. Now, what I'm giving you, my offer position is saying CA grant. So once we get into an agreement, as a parent, you should not worry about whether you clear in November or May. It's not your headache, it is our headache. Me and Grant have to take care. The reason why I'm telling you is, neither me or Grant has any authority to ask you to invest into this, because if I talk about ISB, he can push you to invest in ISB. It's an established decision. CA is supposed to be a self-study course. CA is supposed to be a free course. People only invest in thousands or hundreds, or most of the time it can be cleared for free. For that, when you're looking at it, it's not a regular dad's decision, a regular grandfather's decision. It's not a regular family decision. If somebody is doing it, it's a luxury. I'm saying it. My personal view is that most of the students should not be provided this luxury. They should figure out. The only reason why you should do it is if you're looking like an investor, because I operate like this. Now, when I said I invested 2 crore into my startup, I'm not focused on how much I can save in this 5-10 years. No. I'm focused on how much I can recover. Some people operate like this. When you operate like this, I want Grant to take responsibility, saying that, okay, I am having a problem. If the system is helping me, I want to get into this, but I want this responsibility to be taken by him. I'm not sure who, if at all this is going forward, who is taking the investment decision, but the responsibility should be fixed with this guy, because this is not something parents should normally do. This is one. It's only like a temporary hand loan which you should repay the next 1-2 years. That is something which I'm very clear and specific about. This is the condition which we set to all students. This is one thing. Now, from the parent's perspective, it is already a big decision for you to invest, and you should not worry about he being a CA or not. So what we offer is, if Grant and me are on the same page, we want to close it at 12. Like November 24, he'll be a CA, will clear both groups. This is done. Even if it is in case, there are 2-3 possibilities. Now, why he would not clear? One is, he writing only one group. 2, he writing both the groups, clearing one group, or not clearing. No, not clearing even one group is not in the equation, because the way you look at it, at least I hope you are at least content of that, because I'm trying to understand it internal thing. I hope, sir, can we understand that he can clear at least one group for sure? Can we arrive there?
Pardon? Come again?
Can we arrive at a conclusion where he can clear at least one group for sure? All of us are sure that he can clear at least one group for sure, right? All 3 of you, sir, are you confident of saying one group for sure?
She is also sitting.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste, sir.
Right.
So let's start with the fundamental base. Grant, I'm asking you now. to the extent you understand us, अगर आप हैदराबाद का आ रहे हैं अगले 2-3 दिन पे, हमारे पास 4 महीने रहेगा तो, are you sure about clearing one group for sure?
Yes, sir.
आपका sir आप
Yes, yes.
mother and grandfather.
Yes.
Yes.
So one group is clear. Now let me redefine the group, sir. If you remember, last attempt way, one group is equal to 4 papers. Right? So one attempt, the possibility is 4 papers. We're comfortable. We were comfortable for a very long period of time to write four papers, right? 4 papers will be clear. So I'm slightly pushing. Let me redefine it. So let's think about 4 papers. 4 papers in 4-5 months. Now when I ask you, are we confident of clearing 4 papers, sir? Grant. If I say 4 papers, can we clear 4 papers? Any 4, 50 into 4, 200. Let's 300. Okay, can we clear, right?
Yes.
Now here, once we clear 4 papers, there is only one paper which is risky. Paper 6, IBS is not an individual paper. It's a combination of all 5 papers.
Yes.
So the entire risk is, how do we accommodate the 5th paper? Because 6th paper is a consequence of all papers. Now to give you an example, when I spoke about Anurag given his group 2. He has then started group 1. He had a lot of doubts on how he is going to clear IBS. Now I told him very simple. IBS out of 100, more than 50% or 45 to 50 marks will come from only DT and IDT. You can handle that since you're studying. The remaining 50, you should understand from where it is being given. You should always take that chance. So without even touching the coaching for group 1, nothing. He has done nothing in group 1, he still clear IBS. He cleared the whole group after 8 years. Now, that is what I'm offering you. IBS can be done. So there is only one paper which will be left out. Now that paper to help you clear, for us to help you clear that paper, we have a team of people we write notes, we take care of you, we divide your work, we'll build the bridge on the go. So that is the risk involved. While operating like this, we make sure you clear the group for sure. The 3 papers, 100% certainty. The risk is completely transferred to one of the groups. Which group will tell you? I'm working with a very open mind here. I'm not having any assumption. One group will clear for sure. 4 papers we are sure. We are only not sure about 5th paper. 6th paper is anyways a culmination of this. So at this point, we only have to worry about 1 paper. Now, when we do so many things, I think we should be able to pull off the result from our 1 paper. This is what I believe. Having said this, I don't want to transfer the risk of not clearing in November to a dad. When I promised that he'll come back as CA grant, I ideally want to close it at 12 lakhs. I'm charging this. So what am I trying to say? I'm giving the certificate. That's it. It's not a question of 3 months, 4 months. Because if you give me 2 years, I can do it at 6 lakhs. If you say that it's okay to clear in 2026 or 27, मेरा ऊपर लोड नहीं रहता है, आप आने की जरूरत भी नहीं. You can do it online. हम यही टाइम पे करने हैं तो लोड ज्यादा है. मतलब 1 घंटे में देने के लिए तो फ्लाइट चाहिए, नहीं तो ट्रेन तो लेके जाते. So this is exactly the problem. So ideally, this is a good value proposition. God forbid, यहाँ पे ये group नहीं हो रहा है तो, in terms of mentorship, I don't want to charge anything because we want to put our skin to the game. If something is not working, parents should not be liable. Now, यहाँ से यहाँ तक हमको यहाँ पे the average accommodation cost is around 40K every month. Like it's the last time it was at 43 to 45. We want to bring it to 40 for sure. Whatever it is, we'll remove something and इससे 40 भी ज़्यादा हो रहा है. So for accommodating a student, it's 43. Let's look at 40. Now for this 5-6 months, if you look at it, it's another 2.5, 2.6 lakhs. So if at all it is moving to the other direction, we just want to charge for the accommodation here. This is one. But this is a bad deal for us. क्योंकि आप यहाँ पे हमको 0 पे कर रहे हैं. Because if you look at it, यहाँ पे this is what you're paying. Why should I waste my energy on the same student where I get 0? Because this is for accommodation. I get 0 here. So we also work very aggressively to make sure you clear in November. आपको क्या फायदा है? आप इतना इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, आप इतना जल्दी रिकवर करना है ना. मतलब it's not about how much time you spend here. It is all about how fast you can start earning. आपका इंसेंटिव क्या है? फटाफट क्लियर कर लिया तो जान से अर्न कर सकते हैं. मतलब मई तक आपका 50% इन्वेस्टमेंट तो रिकवर कर सकते हैं ना. So this is exactly how we're putting the skin in the game. That is the reason why we're giving the range of 12 to 15. So 12 is the base, and ideally, I want to do it at 12. I don't want to get into 15 because 15 is a bad deal for me. So that is exactly why I'm giving the range.
To conclude, we need to invest. We need to invest, not spend.
Yes.
We need to invest 12 lakhs rupees.
Yes.
With a clear motive to
Yes.
clear both the groups in
Yes.
November.
Yes, sir.
By
Yes.
any chance, if one group is not get clear, then we can go to May 25.
Yes.
It will be costing us 3 lakhs rupees.
Yes. Yes, sir. Just for the accommodation. Yes, sir.
Just for the accommodation.
Yes, sir.
But he will be residing over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He'll be here. He'll come back only as CA. Just don't allow him without the certificate.
So, do you have any pact with ICL?
Pardon, sir? This is a compliment. I would. I'll tell you what I've done, sir. At the age of 21, after I cleared CA, 5 companies shortlisted me. But I felt something was missing. I spent 1 year. I took a gap year after clearing at 21. I took a gap year, exploring a lot of inner dimensions. Like I talk a lot of logic, but I believe in the spirituality, religion, everything. Every part I believe, I try to grab everything. So I was able to get some insights from all. I'm a certified yoga nerd. I'm a certified fitness trainer, and I spent in all major ecosystem: Art of Living, Isha, Abdobia, Ramakrishna Mission, Vape. I'm a certified Raj Yoga trainer from Ramakrishna Mission also. So I was building myself to solve a complex problem. So यहाँ पे this is one problem with a high value perception, sir. Now let's look at it like this. मान लो कि आप civil service, you are an IAS officer. आपका बेटा 3 साल हुआ नहीं हो रहा है, वहाँ पे stuck हो रहा है. Now if I say that I can help him hit that one, यहाँ पे this is a 10% course. Civil is a 0.1% course. We could charge anything. So this is a space which is left in the exam. It almost looks like a scam, which means it's a compliment. मतलब कैसा हो सकता है, इतना हो सकता है. So that is exactly where we wanted to get, and that is where we put in the last 5 years. मतलब the first 2 crores we just invested tuck because we wanted to get only insights. अभी माइंड पे इतना आ गया कि फाउंडेशन में क्या चैप्टर से क्या सब्जेक्ट से यहाँ कोरिलेशन पूरा. Like our concept is class without rooms, study without books, learn without stress. This is exactly how we're building ourselves. Luckily, the kind of people, मतलब मंजू जो भी मार्कशीट दिया था, she's a lawyer and her father is a district judge. Deekshita, the other result which you are seeing, her father is a chartered accountant. He works with IT as a vice president. आज आपका अनुराग का result जो दिखाया, वो बच्चा का father is a practice in is 70 years. He's qualified in 1978. Because only a set of people will understand this. नहीं तो it would be ridiculous. What is 12 lakhs? Because they don't understand this. A lot of people. Luckily, we are getting the right set of people. They're very encouraging in that manner. They're trusting us. That's why ecosystem is taking care. And जो भी आपका mentors है ना sir, now Manju is already helping us. We trained her. Now she is already training the next set of people. We don't have middlemen, sir. We don't have a sales team. We don't have a website. We have nothing. We have literally nothing. The purest form, like pure gold जैसे maintain करना, no wastage, pure gold. क्या कहता है? अब जो भी invest कर रहा है, I'm giving you the premium accommodation. It's in a 10-acre gated community. It's in high-tech city, sir. It's like Gurgaon, NCR जैसे रहता है ना, or cyber city, something like that. It's the heart of the city, literally.
Panjagutta.
No, Panjagutta was our earlier officer. Now it's high-tech city. Now आपका बेटा high-tech city में रहता है. High-tech city is the heart. It's a gated community. Panjagutta was a regular office. Now we have to move it because Abhi is certainly a decision liya because it's a far more, I think it's 2x expensive than Panjagutta right now for us.
Real sister is residing at Amirpet.
Who, sir?
My real sister is residing at Amirpet.
Good to know, sir. Yes, sir.
Shantakaran Road.
Okay, understood. Yes, sir.
So Shamkaran.
Yes.
Shamkaran. So when I told her yesterday that I wanted to send him to a place which is nearby to Panjagutta, or Toda Devi Road. So address लिखा हुआ है.
Yes, sir, we have to change it from the Google because we just vacated it last month. वो पूरा करना है, so that we change that.
So she started shouting on me that when Granth is coming here, then he should decide. No, it is a residential course. He will be residing. So okay, and we can meet him once in a week at least because Panjagutta is very nearby to my place. So, but now it's not possible, I think, because it is. I mean,
Manju, come down here. She should, because Manju, their family has got a exceptionally good home. As much as I say that we provide very good residences. They bought a new home. They're just 10 minutes away from our place. 10 to 15 minutes. They have a car driver. Everything is settled. But she stayed with us to clear her exams. She is the one who got the 337. So the only question is, they have a sir, sister is in Amirpet.
Okay.
Now it's a small question. Can they even
Can
stay?
they stay there?
So help them understand why we insist on residential part.
Okay, so it's very simple, sir. The ecosystem is designed in such a way that there's no wastage of any minute. Every hour is prefixed, predetermined. Schedule is, it's scheduled to the T. So there's no room for error. There's no margin for error. And when you want to execute such a tight schedule without any, dilution, as sir calls it, without any dilution, it's better, coming here and staying here is the best thing to do. So Ghar pe it's very comfortable, and at least at relatives' place it's even more. I don't know how if he's comfortable or not there, but somehow the ecosystem. I stay right 20 minutes away, like sir said, my house is just 20 minutes away from here, but somehow this place has that
environment and that kind of vibes,
Absolutely. You see peer studying, that motivates you to study, and also the whole ecosystem, sir. Our days used to start at 6 a.m. in the morning, and it used to end at 10 p.m. We used to be so exhausted that we used to automatically fall asleep wherever we were. So, that even traveling, that is another form of exhaustion.
Persons. Like, this is a normal question which I'm asking from you. You'll be providing a flat for 4 persons, or it's a common dormitory type?
No, sir, it's a flat for only very limited set of students.
Acha, only 10-15 people.
Not even 10-15, sir.
All together. So basically, yeah. We operate with a okay. So we operate in a 2200 SFT house, sir. So यहाँ पे it's a 3 BHK apartment. So we normally look at 5 people maximum. So क्या रहता है ना? That is exactly. It's like 500 SFT for a student, something like that. We have a calculation in terms of how it fits into the equation. The only exception would be कभी-कभी दो students gel होते हैं. Last time Manju and Mitra studied together. आपको एक video भेजता हूँ. They studied together. It was very helpful for both of them. उस time पे थोड़ा सा the decision will change. It's not about the space anymore. थोड़ा सा add होगा तो. Otherwise, we want to create that calm because our maximum limit for particular attempt is 10 students. So इसके लिए तो हमारे पास 3 flat है. So that is why we kind of use it. One is like a floating flat. Example, आज वाराणसी से एक सिया आया सर उसका बेटी के साथ. So people come and stay and all of that. So one is a floating flat where we keep it for multiple parts. The other one is static. एक तो पूरा set रहता है. दूसरा तो it's like a study library, something like that. So we operate in that.
Okay. So now this come again to the fees part. So this is inclusive of GST or GST will be extra?
It's basically we'll help you with that, sir. Basically, the mode of payment right now, because most of the people coming in at CS initially started. So a lot of them said we want to pay in non-account manner. So
yeah,
that comfort is fine. Matlab, it's all inclusive. So we'll make sure we'll create that provision for you in a way you expect. That can be mode of payment can be sorted.
It can be paid in
yes.
in the manner which I like.
Yes, whatever manner it is, it's completely up to you. That's totally fine. We'll accommodate.
Sorry, further any negotiations, please?
Not at all, sir. Because see, sir, to be frank,
you are quite adamant on this.
Sir, I tell you why, sir. Basically, we built the intellectual ability. The last 5 years of work went to intellectual ability to solve the problem. Because there are some people, we're able to remove prescription drugs also, sir. Matlab, they're going through some psychiatric treatment. We're able to remove that also. My wife is a doctor, as I said. So we go to a different level of extent to solve that problem. To be honest, as a startup, we don't have the financial bandwidth, because there are a lot of people, some level of push would help them actually. But one, we're operating with only 10 students. 2, these expenses keep shooting up, sir. Matlab, whatever you plan, it goes into a random zone altogether. And 3, we make money only in 2 months, sir. Throughout the year, it's July and January. That's it. It's all zeros. So we don't have any bandwidth, sir. That is the reason why we don't. At some point of time, if I have something, I can offer.
Right? To be given in advance, or there are certain installments?
Normally, we take a single payment one time. That is exactly how it is.
In advance. Okay.
Pardon, sir.
So, what is the time of your commencement of the session?
You can start immediately, sir. Basically, as Varanasi ka bola tha na, the daughter and father came in. They liked it. It's done. They came, they flew in. They wanted to check. They spent 2-3 hours. They interacted with all our students. They decided. A lot of people, our ek bache to, they're not even coming in. They're like, okay, done. The transactions is coming couple of days.
Can you please send, I beg your pardon, can you please send your address so that I can, you can have a physical interaction with my sister.
ठीक है, sir. Yes. I'll do one thing.
Yeah.
I'll send you at what times you would like to come.
Tomorrow, Saturday, tomorrow, you please give your time, she can manage.
Manja will coordinate. So her sister is in Hyderabad. It makes sense for her to come and check. So,
She will also watch the things and.
Yeah, that will make sense. Yes, sir.
है ना, तो वो सब
You can even interact with students and you can also talk to our students if you want. So that will be great, sir, because that will help us. Because instead of you coming all the way, that will give you more clarity. Yeah, she's welcome.
I simply need a simple thing from you, sir. Please get it done in November.
Done.
Both groups, because I don't want to stretch the things anymore.
Understand.
And try your level best. जैसे सुबह एक वीडियो में देख रहा था, उसमें that father told you that he has given his son to you.
Yes. Yes.
That is what I am doing. I am giving my son to you, and you are his mentor and elder brother. Please do what best you can do for him.
Definitely. Yes, sir. It would be my pleasure to do that, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So tomorrow my sister will be coming to you and have the details. Okay. And we will be reaching probably in the next week to Hyderabad.
Okay, sir. Most welcome. Yes, sir.
We'll do the rest of the formalities.
Thanks, sir.
Anything specific for this formality, some documentation part or nothing not required?
We're not doing anything, sir. If you insist on something, probably we'll do it. Basically, it's just happening. What is happening is, sir, all of them are CS. It's almost like a family, sir. मतलब एक extend हो रहा है ना. Much before you think of, sir, forget about something document. We don't even have brochures, sir. It's so like for people who sell 10,000 courses, they have a list of things. We don't even have. It just started with one CA family connecting together, and it.
And I am going to tell you that in case if whatever you are saying is true and it actually implemented, so you will be one of the biggest billionaires in this India in the coming time. Because I mean the way you are assuring, the kind of assurance you are providing is something marvelous. I mean you yourself have said that there is no assumption part. This is done.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'll make it very simple. I'll tell you the hack also. Basically, we are like the painters who are doing the finishing touch. Now, for you to build Granth and also for him to build up proper schooling दिया था, बहुत सारे parent का insights दिया था, and he personally has cleared foundation, he has cleared intermediate, he has done his articleship. Final में भी कुछ तो start किया. इतना हो गया ना, मतलब you are done 99%. God's grace, I don't know why you're giving us undue credit, but we're just doing the 1%. That's it. But 1% ठीक से कर रहा है. 1% जो भी है, सबसे मुश्किल है. That finishing, it's like finisher. वो stress handle करना, because that's a different thing. A lot of people score up to 270. वो 270 से 300 लेने का लिए तो finishing का ability सही. वो ability हम बहुत we put that effort, 10 plus years of effort and इतना बहुत अच्छे से किया था. But having said that, it's not because of what we do, because of आप जो भी build किया हो गया. And most importantly, for these people, क्या होता है ना sir, at this level, it's hard. They don't open up. And if given a choice, no student or no one wants to make their parents invest. But the fact that it is hard for them, sir, even if they're willing to invest, probably personally, if I have to discuss with Grant on a one-on basis, I don't think he will be very comfortable.
I will grab his money from
then that's what it is. Then it's totally fine, sir. That is exactly how it has to happen. So that way, it's a culmination of efforts, sir. And most importantly, I'm liking the fact that families are coming together, sir. Basically, क्या होता है ना? In some families, they're like they keep pushing, उसका हो गया, उनको हो गया, and all that is random nonsense. Basically, when somebody needs us the most, वो time पे just a slight nudge की we are there. दो लोग बोल दिया तो वो कर लेते sir. That's it. They don't. That is exactly what is happening.
She is doing actuarial science, and she has already cleared 3 papers.
Okay, that's nice.
She is at Gurgaon.
Okay.
Already in the job, younger than Granth, and she's working with Milliman.
Oh,
It's
got it.
source for actuarial science.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Grant is also very good. You might she actually my business is I'm an insurance surveyor.
Okay.
So you need a kind of license to
Yes,
become a surveyor after chartered accountant.
Yes, sir.
To
Yes,
become a chartered accountant.
yes, sir.
So he has already cleared all the papers for that surveyorship.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And he is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. This is Indian Institute of Insurance.
Yes, yes, sir.
He has cleared 10 papers of ACCA.
Oh,
All that has been done.
yes, sir. That's the finishing touch. Yes, sir. I understand. Yeah.
This is only a finishing touch which I need to be given by you.
Yes, sir.
Because I think personally that he is lacking somewhere in presentation and
Yes.
learning techniques. So please take care. Okay, we are finishing our discussion over here. This was a nice interaction with you, Imkant.
Thank
And let's hope my sister will be meeting you tomorrow at the time given by you. Ask Manju ma'am to give me the
Sir, we'll give
proper
the details. Yes, sir. We can share our contact and we'll take care of it, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.